This afternoon around 3 o'clock, a judge will hear closing arguments from a group of voters trying to keep former President Donald Trump off of Colorado's ballot. The group is using the 14th Amendment clause in their argument that bars anyone who swore an oath to the Constitution and then engaged in an insurrection from running for office. Trump's attorney and the Colorado GOP are arguing keeping the former president off the ballot is election interference. Judges in 2 other states have already made up their minds. Yesterday, a judge in Michigan said Trump should not be dropped from the ballot on those grounds, and a judge in Minnesota dismissed a similar lawsuit. The judge here in Colorado says she's going to have a verdict before Thanksgiving, and that is a week from tomorrow. Taking a live look out over Denver right now, we have got another really beautifully warm day for the middle of November. It's kind of amazing, I'm not gonna lie. We have Lauren Robinson here with us, and I'm just trying to soak it in. What a treat for this time of year.
I know. Well, you and I say that, and others are, grunting. Exactly. So, and I've been saying, it is the middle of November. To be fair, I think people are really wanting their pumpkin spice latte weather. And
okay, that's true.
Probably not as good in near 70-degree temperatures.
No, it feels a little weird.
I will say today at least looks a little more fall-like. While the temperatures are still going to be pretty warm today, it's still pretty cloudy in some areas. So maybe that helps it look like fall if you're inside just kind of gazing out your window. We have a live look over downtown Denver right now. A little bit of cloud cover there, 65 degrees at DIA. We do have winds coming in from the southeast at around 11 miles per hour. Those winds are going to stay pretty mild as we go throughout the rest of the day today, but they're going to pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to see a ton of change moving into the state. Not so much today. We take a look at our HD Doppler radar. We really just have some cloud cover across Colorado, and that's all we're seeing across the Front Range as well. So you're making those plans for today. We're going to be partly cloudy to maybe even mostly cloudy in some areas. Those temperatures, though, approaching 70 degrees, so well above our seasonal high for this time of year. And as we take a look at what we could see in our 7-day forecast, we're going to see another warm day tomorrow. That's actually supposed to say Thursday. I don't remember what day it is, but another warm day tomorrow. We will see some mountain snow pushing into Colorado. We'll also see some Front Range showers tomorrow. All of this is going to be in the span of about 24 hours. And then we do have some snow chances pushing into the Front Range as well later in my 7-day forecast. So I'll have all of those details for you just ahead.
So much for that, Lauren. Well, there are questions right now about the shooter's mental capacity in the King Soopers shooting and whether he understands the charges against him, and that's delayed the trial, now due to start in August.
There's no doubt that he is the killer, he is the murderer.
Yesterday was such a tough day for the families of the 10 people killed 2.5 years ago. They watched as a man who killed their loved ones plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Bob Oles' niece, Ricky, was one of the victims. He learned during that testimony that she stepped toward the door moments before the shooter ran in.
Why would someone do this? Why was it that King Soopers? Why was my niece working at that time? Why did my niece step towards the door? There are so many whys that just circle in your head.
Now it's going to be up to a judge or jury to decide whether the shooter was insane on that day in March of 2021. 9 News psychology expert Dr. Max Wachtel says that there is a difference between the shooter's mental state then and now.
The competency to stand trial deals with how the person is doing now. What is their mental state like now? And are they competent to proceed to trial now? A sanity evaluation looks back at the time of the incident and what was their mental state at that time. So it's more of a retrospective evaluation.
Dr. Wachtel says the insanity defense is quite rare. It only shows up in about 1% of cases each year. He also said that only 1/4 of those end up with the person being considered legally insane. The trial is due to start in August of next year. 2 people hurt in a deadly shooting outside a motorcycle club are now facing murder charges. This happened at the Hells Lovers Motorcycle Club in Park Hill on November 6th. 2 men died and 5 others were hurt. Prosecutors tell us that Todd Washington and Sean McPherson were the ones who started shooting. An arrest affidavit says Washington's daughter had a fight with security guards at the club and then called her dad. The affidavit says security cameras show Washington and McPherson confronting the security guards and then start shooting, and then others at the club shot back. The 2 suspects ended up at the hospital. They're both facing multiple charges for murder and attempted murder. A Parker school has now fired a teacher for showing news coverage of school shootings to second graders because they were talking during a lockdown drill. Parker Core Knowledge Charter School says this was completely unacceptable. The school's director tells us it happened on Monday after a lockdown drill on campus. The school says a Spanish teacher was upset that the second grade class wasn't quiet enough, so then she showed them news clips from the mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas, and the Covenant School in Nashville. The teacher was on administrative leave on Monday, and the school fired her yesterday. The school says they brought in mental health counselors for the kids and also contacted their families. A sign that became a symbol of women's suffrage is back home today. Last week, someone stole the Votes for Women sign outside the Molly Brown House Museum in Denver's Capitol Hill neighborhood. The sign is a marker on the National Votes for Women Trail. The museum says someone did find the sign. They ended up returning it. The museum had also said if just somebody brought it back, they would not press charges. Loneliness is now a global health priority. The World Health Organization is launching a commission on social connection to address what they're calling a pressing health threat. Research has shown that lonely people are facing a higher risk of dying early. A lack of certain types of social connections has been linked with poor mental and physical health, including cognitive decline, poor immune function, and cardiovascular problems. One study even compared the health impacts of loneliness to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. While a lot of the research is focusing on seniors, loneliness is also impacting kids and adolescents. Skiing is a big business up in the high country, obviously, right? But it's so big that Summit High School has a class that is now teaching students how to design, build, and market their skis. The program is a part of classes designed to teach students a trade or a vocation so they don't necessarily have to go to college after high school. This is called Ski Tech. It is the first year for the ski business and manufacturing class. Students learn all about the ski industry, right down to designing and building their own skis. They also have to come up with a marketing plan on how to sell them. At the end of the semester, the students get to take those skis out and use them.
It's understanding what you're trying to achieve with your design. It's understanding who your target market might be with a ski like that, creating a marketing campaign for that ski, and so really creating your own little micro business around your product.
So the equipment that was needed to get the program going cost around $40,000. That money came from the resort community with donations, also from the nonprofit group called the Summit Foundation.